Welcome to a video that might change how you look at your relationships and your life. Today, we're diving into an important topic for anyone wanting to level up: the 10 types of people holding you back. Now, picture this. You're in a hot air balloon, ready to soar to new heights. You've got big dreams, ambitious goals, and the determination to make them happen. But as you start to rise, you notice something's off. The balloon isn't climbing as fast as it should. You look over the edge and see several people hanging onto the basket, weighing you down. That, my friends, is exactly what happens when you surround yourself with the wrong people. They're like dead weight, holding you back from reaching your full potential. The worst part is, most of the time, we don't even realize these people are dragging us down. They might be longtime friends, family members, or colleagues we see daily. Their influence can be subtle, like a slow leak in your balloon, gradually draining your energy, positivity, and drive. So, who are these people? Well, that's exactly what we're going to explore in this video. We'll be looking at 10 types of individuals who might be secretly sabotaging your success. 1. The negative Nancys always see the glass half empty. 2. The energy vampires who leave you feeling drained after every interaction. 3. The master manipulators who play mind games. 4. The chronic complainers who never seem satisfied. 5. The "it's not my fault" crowd who never take responsibility. 6. The green-eyed monsters consumed by jealousy. 7. The narcissists who make everything about them. 8. The gossip gurus who can't keep a secret. 9. The growth stunters who don't support your dreams. 10. And the fair-weather friends who only show up when they need something. Now I know what you might be thinking. But wait, I don't have toxic people in my life. Well, stick around because you might be surprised. These types can be masters of disguise, and identifying them is the first step to freeing yourself from their negative influence. But don't worry, this isn't just about pointing fingers. For each type, we'll dive into why they're harmful, share some real-life stories you might relate to, and most importantly, give you practical tips on dealing with them. Whether it's setting boundaries, changing your response, or in some cases, showing these folks the exit door in your life, we've got you covered. Remember, you are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped to make sure those 5 people are the ones who lift you up, not drag you down. So are you ready to cut those sandbags and let your balloon soar? Let's dive in and discover the 10 types of people who might be holding you back in life. Negative thinkers. All right, let's kick things off with the negative thinkers. You know the type. They're the ones who can find a storm cloud on the sunniest day. Negative thinkers are those folks who always focus on what could go wrong. They've got a PhD in "yeah, but," and they're experts at raining on parades. While a healthy dose of realism can be good, these people take it to the extreme. Why are they so harmful? Well, negativity is contagious. Spend enough time around a negative thinker, and you'll find yourself starting to see the world through gray-colored glasses. They can sap your motivation, crush your enthusiasm, and make you second-guess your dreams. Let me tell you about Sarah and her coworker, Dave. Sarah had just landed a big project at work and was excited about the challenge. Enter Dave, the office negative thinker. "Good luck with that," he scoffed. "Remember the Johnson account? Total disaster. This one's probably going to be even worse." Just like that, Sarah's excitement deflated. She started doubting herself, imagining all the ways the project could fail. Dave's negativity had infected her outlook. So how do you spot a negative thinker? Listen for phrases like, "That'll never work," "We've always done it this way," "Why bother? It's hopeless." They're the ones always prepared for the worst, and not in a good way. Now, dealing with negative thinkers can be tricky, but here are some strategies. 1. Set boundaries. Limit your exposure to their negativity. 2. Challenge their pessimism. Ask them to explain their reasoning. Often, they can't. 3. Redirect the conversation to solutions instead of problems. 4. Surround yourself with positive influences to counteract their effect. Remember, you don't have to be a captive audience to someone else's pessimism. Choose positivity and watch how it transforms your life. Energy drainers. Next up, we've got the energy drainers. These people leave you feeling like you've just run a marathon after a simple conversation. Energy drainers are those individuals who seem to suck the life out of a room. They're often needlessly dramatic, constantly in crisis, or perpetually needy. They demand your time, attention, and emotional energy, but rarely, if ever, reciprocate. Why are they so detrimental? Well, your energy is a finite resource. Every minute you spend dealing with an energy drainer is a minute you can't spend on your goals, dreams, or self-care. Over time, this can lead to burnout, resentment, and stalled personal growth. Let me introduce you to Mike and his friend, Lisa. Mike had a big presentation coming up and needed to prepare, but Lisa called yet again in the middle of a crisis. "Mike, I can't believe what happened at work today. You have to hear this." 2 hours later, Mike was emotionally exhausted and behind on his prep work. Lisa, meanwhile, felt better after unloading all her problems until the next crisis, of course. How do you recognize an energy drainer? Look out for these signs. They always have a crisis or drama in their life. You feel tired or stressed after interacting with them. They rarely ask about you or your life. They have a woe is me attitude and resist solutions. So, how do you deal with energy drainers? Here are some strategies. 1. Set clear time limits on interactions. 2. Learn to say no. You're not responsible for solving everyone's problems. 3. Encourage them to seek professional help if they're constantly in crisis. 4. Practice self-care after interactions to recharge your batteries. Remember, protecting your energy is not selfish, it's necessary. You can't pour from an empty cup. Manipulators. Now let's talk about a particularly tricky group, the manipulators. These are the chess players of the social world, always thinking several moves ahead, and not in a good way. Manipulators are experts at using emotions, often guilt or fear, to control others and get what they want. They're masters of gaslighting, making you question your own reality. They might use flattery 1 minute and criticism the next, keeping you off balance and easier to control. Why are they so dangerous? Manipulators erode your self-esteem, your ability to trust others, and even your grip on reality. They can make you feel like you're going crazy, and over time, can seriously impact your mental health and your other relationships. Let's look at the story of Tom and his manipulative sister, Rachel. Tom had been saving for a dream vacation for years. Rachel, knowing this, came to him with tears in her eyes. "Tom, I hate to ask, but I'm in real trouble. I need $5,000 or I'll lose my apartment. You're the only one I can turn to." Tom, feeling guilty and pressured, gave her the money. A week later, he saw Rachel's social media posts about her amazing shopping spree. How do you spot a manipulator? Watch out for these red flags. They use guilt trips to get their way. They twist your words or deny things they've said. They play the victim when confronted. They use flattery excessively, often followed by a request. Dealing with manipulators requires a strong backbone. Here are some strategies. 1. Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. 2. Set firm boundaries and stick to them, no matter what. 3. Don't jade, justify, argue, defend, or explain. Simply state your position. 4. Seek support from others to reality check your experiences. Remember, you have the right to make decisions without feeling guilty. Don't let anyone manipulate you into thinking otherwise. Chronic complainers and the Stoic response. Let's turn our Stoic gaze to the chronic complainers. Those who seem to find fault in every situation, grumble about the weather being too hot or cold, and see problems everywhere but solutions nowhere. The great Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." This wisdom is particularly relevant when dealing with chronic complainers. Consider Maria, a bright young professional whose colleague John was a perpetual complainer. Every morning, John would start the day with a litany of grievances. Traffic was terrible, the coffee machine was too slow, and the boss was unreasonable. At first, Maria was drawn into John's negative spiral, her mood darkening in response. But then Maria discovered Stoicism. She realized that while she couldn't control John's behavior, she had complete control over her reaction to it. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Maria began to see John's complaints not as truth, but as his perception of reality, a perception she didn't have to share. She started responding to his complaints with questions like, "What do you think we could do to improve the situation?" Or, "Is there a positive side to this we might be missing?" This Stoic approach accomplishes two things. 1. It protects Maria's own peace of mind. 2. It gently challenges John to shift his perspective. Remember, the Stoics teach us that true freedom comes from focusing on what we can control. As Epictetus said, there is only one way to happiness, and that is to cease worrying about things which are beyond the power of our will. When faced with a chronic complainer, consider these Stoic strategies. 1. Practice negative visualization. Imagine how much worse things could be. This Stoic technique can help you appreciate what you have. 2. Focus on your response. You can't control the complainer's words, but you can control how you interpret and react to them. 3. Seek the lesson. Ask yourself, what can I learn from this situation? Every challenge is an opportunity for growth. 4. Embrace amor fati, love of fate. Accept that complainers exist and see dealing with them as a chance to practice virtue. Seneca wisely noted, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Don't let the imagined problems of others become your real ones. People who never take responsibility, a Stoic perspective. Let's apply our Stoic lens to those who never seem to take responsibility for their actions. The blamers, the excuse makers, the "it's not my fault" crowd. Epictetus provides a powerful perspective here. When we blame others, we waste our energy. But when we take responsibility, we empower ourselves. This encapsulates the Stoic approach to personal responsibility. Consider the story of Alex, a team leader in a busy marketing firm. One of his team members, Sarah, consistently missed deadlines and made errors in her work. However, Sarah always had an excuse. The brief wasn't clear enough. She didn't have enough time. Someone else had given her the wrong information. Initially, Alex found himself frustrated and angry with Sarah. But as he delved deeper into Stoic philosophy, he realized two important things. 1. He couldn't control Sarah's behavior or her unwillingness to take responsibility. 2. He could control his own actions and responses to the situation. As Marcus Aurelius advised, you always own the option of having no opinion. There is never any need to get worked up or to trouble your soul about things you can't control. These things are not asking to be judged by you. Leave them alone. Alex decided to focus on what he could control. He implemented more evident processes for assigning and tracking work. He provided more detailed briefs and set up check-in points throughout projects. Most importantly, he worked on managing his expectations and emotions. When Sarah continued to make excuses, Alex calmly pointed out the resources and support available, asking, "What could you do differently next time to achieve a better outcome?" This Stoic approach shifted the focus from blame to problem solving. Remember, the Stoics teach us that true strength comes from taking responsibility for our actions and reactions. As Epictetus said, "It is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows." When dealing with people who don't take responsibility, consider these Stoic approaches. 1. Focus on your actions. Are you doing everything you can to facilitate success? 2. Practice empathy. Try to understand why they might avoid responsibility. Fear? Insecurity? 3. Lead by example. Demonstrate what taking responsibility looks like. 4. Maintain emotional equilibrium. Don't let their behavior disturb your inner peace. As Seneca reminds us, the greatest remedy for anger is delay. When faced with someone dodging responsibility, take a moment before reacting. Choose your response wisely. Jealous individuals through a Stoic lens. Finally, let's examine how Stoicism can help us deal with jealous individuals who covet what others have and often try to diminish others' successes. Epictetus offers a powerful perspective on jealousy. He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has. This Stoic principle of focusing on what we have rather than what we lack is key to addressing jealousy in ourselves and others. Consider the story of Sophia, a successful entrepreneur who faced jealousy from her old friend Lisa. Whenever Sophia shared a new achievement, a business milestone, a personal accomplishment, Lisa would respond with thinly veiled envy, often trying to downplay Sophia's success or change the subject. At first, Sophia felt hurt and angry. Why couldn't her friend be happy for her? But as she studied Stoic philosophy, she gained a new perspective. Marcus Aurelius counseled, "When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, the people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil." Sophia realized that Lisa's jealousy was more about Lisa's insecurities than about Sophia's achievements. She couldn't control Lisa's feelings, but she could control her response. Instead of feeling offended, Sophia began to approach these interactions with compassion. She asked about Lisa's life and celebrated her friend's successes, no matter how small. She would gently redirect the conversation to positive topics they enjoyed when faced with a jealous comment. The Stoic approach to dealing with jealous individuals involves several fundamental principles. 1. Practice gratitude. Regularly acknowledge and appreciate what you have. 2. Understand the impermanence of external things. Success, wealth, and status are transient. The Stoics advise us to focus on internal virtues instead. 3. Cultivate compassion. Recognize jealousy often stems from insecurity or fear. 4. Focus on your own character. Epictetus reminds us, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. Don't let the jealousy of others deter you from your path. Remember, as Seneca wisely noted, it is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor. By embracing this Stoic mindset, we can navigate relationships with jealous individuals while maintaining our peace of mind and continuing to pursue our goals. Stoicism offers us a powerful toolkit for dealing with chronic complainers, those who never take responsibility, and jealous individuals. It teaches us to focus on what we can control, to find opportunity in every challenge, and to cultivate inner peace regardless of external circumstances. As we internalize these Stoic principles, we become more resilient, compassionate, and better equipped to handle the diverse cast of characters we encounter. Gossipers. Imagine walking through the bustling forum of ancient Rome. Amidst the noise of commerce and debate, you hear whispers. Rumors spread like wildfire, and reputations were made and broken with a few choice words. This scene isn't so different from our modern world, where gossip still thrives, now amplified by social media and instant messaging. Gossipers are those who spread rumors and talk about others behind their backs. They might seem harmless, even entertaining at times, but make no mistake, they can be as corrosive to your character as rust is to metal. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus once said, "If you learn that someone is speaking ill of you, don't try to defend yourself against the rumors. Respond instead with, 'Yes, and he doesn't know the half of it because he could have said more.'" This quote encapsulates the Stoic approach to dealing with gossip. Don't let it affect your peace of mind. Let's consider the story of Marcus, a young Roman soldier. His fellow soldiers often gathered to gossip about their superiors and each other. At first, Marcus joined in, feeling it brought him closer to his comrades. But he soon realized that participating in gossip was changing him, making him suspicious and antagonistic. Inspired by the teachings of Stoicism, Marcus decided to change his approach. When his friends started gossiping, he would steer the conversation to more constructive topics or excuse himself. At first, some mocked him, but they began to respect his integrity over time. To recognize gossipers, look for these signs. They often start conversations with, "Did you hear about?" They seem to know everyone's business. They swear you to secrecy before sharing information. They enjoy spreading dramatic or scandalous news. How can we deal with gossipers in a Stoic manner? 1. Remember that what others say is out of your control. Focus on your actions and character. 2. Don't participate in gossip. As Socrates advised, apply the triple filter. Is it true? Is it good? Is it useful? 3. If someone gossips about you, they'll likely gossip about you. Keep this in mind when choosing confidants. 4. Use gossip as an opportunity for self-reflection. If someone's words upset you, ask yourself why and work on that aspect of yourself. People who don't support your growth. Picture yourself as a young olive tree in ancient Greece. You're reaching for the sun, growing stronger each day. But imagine if someone kept trying to bend your branches or limit your water. That's what it's like when you're surrounded by people who don't support your growth. These people might be friends, family, or colleagues who, consciously or unconsciously, try to keep you at their level. They might discourage your ambitions, belittle your achievements, or try to instill doubt in your abilities. The Stoic philosopher Seneca offers wisdom here. Associate with people who are likely to improve you. This simple advice is profound in its implications. The people we surround ourselves with shape our thoughts, our ambitions, and ultimately, our lives. Consider the story of Clea, a young woman in Athens who dreamed of becoming a philosopher, a rarity in her time. Many of her friends and family discouraged her, telling her to focus on more suitable pursuits for a woman. But Clea found inspiration in the Stoic teachings and persevered. She sought out mentors who believed in her potential and surrounded herself with fellow learners. Clea became a respected thinker despite the naysayers, proving that we can overcome societal limitations with the right support and mindset. How do you recognize people who don't support your growth? They downplay your achievements or ambitions. They often use phrases like, "That's not realistic," or "Why bother?" They seem uncomfortable or dismissive when you share your goals. They might try to hold you back under the guise of protecting you. So how do we deal with these people in a Stoic manner? 1. Practice indifference to criticism. As Epictetus said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. 2. Focus on your progress. Marcus Aurelius advised, be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. 3. Seek out positive influences. Surround yourself with people who challenge and inspire you. 4. Use their doubt as fuel. Let their lack of faith motivate you to prove them wrong. Remember, as Seneca said, difficulties strengthen the mind, as labor does the body. Resistance from unsupportive people can make you stronger and more resilient if you are approached with the right mindset. It's also worth considering why these people might not support your growth. Often, it's because of their fears or insecurities. Understanding this can help you respond with compassion rather than anger. Ultimately, your growth is your responsibility. As Epictetus reminds us, no man is free who is not master of himself. Don't let others' limitations define your potential. Use Stoic principles to stay focused on your path, regardless of others' opinions. Users. People who only come around when they need something. Imagine you're a wealthy merchant in ancient Rome. You notice that certain friends only appear when they need a loan or a favor, vanishing when it's time to repay or reciprocate. These are the users of the ancient world, not so different from those we encounter today. Users are people who view relationships as transactional. They appear when they need something, and disappear when they don't. They take but rarely give, draining your resources, whether that's money, time, or emotional energy. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus offers a powerful perspective on dealing with such people. Seek not that the things which happen should happen as you wish, but wish the things which happen to be as they are, and you will have a tranquil flow of life. This doesn't mean we should accept being used. Instead, it suggests we should accept the reality that such people exist and focus on our response to them rather than wishing they were different. Consider the story of Lucius, a kind-hearted Roman citizen known for his generosity. He had a friend named Cassius who would only contact him when in need. One day, Cassius asked for a substantial loan. Instead of getting angry or feeling used, Lucius saw this as an opportunity to practice Stoic principles. He calmly explained to Cassius that true friendship involves give and take. He offered to help Cassius find work instead of giving him money, teaching him to fish rather than simply handing him a fish. This response maintained Lucius's tranquility while also addressing the imbalance in their relationship. How do you spot a user? They contact you only when they need something. Their problems are always emergencies that only you can solve. They rarely ask about your life or offer support in return. They may use flattery or guilt to get what they want. Dealing with users in a Stoic manner involves several strategies. 1. Set clear boundaries. As Seneca advised, we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. By setting and communicating clear limits, we avoid the stress of anticipating unreasonable requests. 2. Practice detachment. Marcus Aurelius said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Recognize that you can't control others' behavior, only your response." 3. Use it as an opportunity for growth. Each interaction with a user is a chance to practice assertiveness, compassion, and self-respect. 4. Reflect on your behavior. Ensure you're not unknowingly using others yourself. As Marcus Aurelius reminds us, when you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, "The people I deal with today will be meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly. They are like this because they can't tell good from evil. But I have seen the beauty of good and the ugliness of evil, and have recognized that the wrongdoer has a nature related to my own." Remember, maintaining one-sided relationships drains the energy you could invest in mutually supportive connections. As Seneca wisely noted, time is our most valuable possession, so be careful how you spend it. By applying these Stoic principles, we can navigate relationships with users while maintaining our peace of mind and integrity. We learn to give freely but wisely, to set boundaries with compassion, and to value ourselves and our time. Doing so creates space for genuine, balanced relationships that support our growth and happiness. Narcissists. You've just landed your dream job, excited to make a difference. But there's a catch. Your boss, let's call him Marcus, is the center of his own universe. Everything revolves around him and your ideas. They might as well be whispers in a hurricane. Now, what exactly is a narcissist? Think of them as people who've mistaken themselves for the sun. They believe everything should orbit around them. They crave admiration, lack empathy, and have an inflated sense of their own importance. Sound familiar? Let me tell you about Sarah, a bright young marketing executive. Her boss, Marcus, was a textbook narcissist. He'd steamroll over her ideas in meetings, only to present them as his own later. He'd take credit for successes and blame others for failures. Sarah's confidence was eroding faster than a sandcastle at high tide. But here's where our Stoic teachings come in handy. Remember what Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters." Sarah realized she couldn't change Marcus but could change her response to him. So how do you spot these self-appointed demigods? Watch for these red flags. 1. They love being the center of attention. 2. They have a grandiose sense of self-importance. 3. They lack empathy for others. 4. They have a sense of entitlement. 5. They're quick to rage when criticized. Now, dealing with narcissists isn't easy, but Stoicism offers us some powerful tools. As Marcus Aurelius wisely said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." Here are some Stoic-inspired strategies for handling narcissists. 1. Practice emotional detachment. Their actions reflect on them, not you. 2. Set firm boundaries. Be clear about what you will and won't accept. 3. Don't feed their ego. Narcissists thrive on reaction. Don't give them the satisfaction. 4. Focus on your growth. As Seneca said, "While we wait for life, life passes." 5. Remember your worth. Don't let their behavior diminish your self-value. Sarah applied these principles. She stopped seeking Marcus's approval and focused on her growth. She set clear boundaries and remained calm in the face of his tantrums. Over time, Marcus's impact on her diminished, and she found herself thriving despite his behavior. Here's a truth for you. Narcissists are like storms, loud, destructive, and attention-seeking. But you can be the mountain, unmoved, unshaken, standing tall regardless of the weather. Remember, as Epictetus taught us, he who is everywhere is nowhere. Don't let a narcissist's demands for attention distract you from your path. Your peace of mind is too valuable to be held hostage by someone else's ego. In the end, dealing with narcissists is about reclaiming your power. It's about understanding that true strength comes from within, as the Stoics did. So stand firm, hold your ground, and let your inner mountain rise above their stormy sea of self-absorption. Modern context, digital age considerations. In today's world, the Stoics' path is lined with face-to-face interactions, screens, notifications, and digital whispers. The challenge of maintaining our integrity and peace of mind has taken on new dimensions in the digital age. Imagine our friend Marcus from the previous story, now navigating the treacherous waters of social media. He opens his phone to find a barrage of notifications, likes, comments, shares, and messages, each vying for his attention. The modern equivalent of the Roman Forum is now in the palm of his hand, with whispers and shouts from across the globe reaching him instantly. Seneca, one of the great Stoic thinkers, seemed to predict our modern dilemma when he wrote, "To be everywhere is to be nowhere." In our hyper-connected world, it's easy to be mentally everywhere, scrolling through Instagram, checking emails, responding to tweets, and yet nowhere, not fully present in our lives. So how can we apply Stoic principles to our digital lives? Let's consider a few strategies. 1. Be mindful of your digital footprint. Before you post, share, or comment, pause. Ask yourself, as Marcus Aurelius might, is this necessary? Is your contribution adding value or merely adding noise? 2. Organize your digital space. As the Stoics advised, surround yourself with wise and virtuous people, and be intentional about who you follow and interact with online. Your digital environment shapes your thoughts and emotions, like your physical one. 3. Set digital boundaries. Epictetus taught that true freedom comes from knowing what is within our control and what isn't. Apply this to your digital life by setting clear boundaries, designated times for checking social media, email-free evenings, or device-free dinners. 4. Practice online empathy. Remember that behind every avatar and username is a real person. Seneca advised, "Wherever there is a human being, there is an opportunity for kindness." Let this guide your online interactions. 5. Use technology purposefully. Instead of mindless scrolling, use digital tools to enhance your growth. Follow accounts that share Stoic wisdom, use apps for mindfulness and reflection, or join online communities like this one, dedicated to personal development. 6. Practice digital detox. Regularly step away from the digital world entirely. As Marcus Aurelius said, nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul. Sometimes the best way to find that retreat is to power down our devices. In applying these principles, we can transform our digital life from a source of distraction and potential negativity into a tool for growth and connection. We can use social media not as a stage for our ego, but as a platform for spreading wisdom and kindness. As we reach the end of our journey through the challenges of negative influences and the application of Stoic wisdom, remember this: you are the architect of your own life. The power to choose your response to any situation, cultivate your character, and shape your physical and digital environment lies within you. Epictetus reminds us, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This timeless wisdom is as relevant in our fast-paced, digitally connected world as it was in ancient Rome. Whether you're dealing with gossipers by the water cooler or navigating the complexities of social media, you have the power to choose your response. As you move forward from this video, I challenge you to embody the Stoic virtues in your daily life. Be the person who lifts others up instead of tearing them down. Be the voice of reason in a sea of reactivity. Be the steady presence that others can rely on. True strength isn't about controlling others or your environment, but mastering yourself. So members of the Stoic community, go forth with courage. Face life's ancient and modern challenges with wisdom and grace. And always remember, in the grand theater of life, you get to choose your role. Choose to be the hero of your own story. Thank you for joining me on this exploration of Stoic wisdom. Until next time, stay strong, stay wise, and keep growing.